Detroit done 3-3. Welcome back, Steve here. If you see me, you know we're talking Detroit Lions football, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a lot. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have been hitting it hard the last week or so. It's much appreciated. Trust me. We are roughly 48 hours away from game day. NFC Championship. It is Friday, January 26th. We're about 48 hours away from the biggest game in Detroit Lions history. A trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Last game of the season. Possibly. If you lose, this is it. Got to find a way to win. This is a monster game against a damn good team. I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. She's just not happy right now. But Detroit Lions got some great news just a little bit ago. James Houston, not on the injury report. Obviously, the elephant in the room, can he play? Will he play? How much will he play? I think we do see James Houston. I do think he gets on the field. I do think it will be in situations where it's obvious that San Francisco is going to be passing. I think he's going to be on a very limited rep count. Excuse me. I'm just fighting a cold that I've been fighting for a month and a half. I apologize. James Houston, I think he's going to be on a very limited snap count. Like I said, going to be known passing situations for the Detroit Lions. Just the other day, I did a episode, and I'll tag it at the end of this video if you guys want to check that one out, about people who, my three biggest players that I needed to step up. And I kind of lumped John Kaminsky and Josh Pascal into one, the opposite edge of Hutch, someone to get pressure. I'm going to also throw in James Houston in there now that he's cleared, not on the injury report. But the next question, how much will he play? Known passing downs. Guys, I can only see like maybe 15 snaps. If that, I think I'm being pretty generous. It could be less. I don't think we're going to see the 25 to 30 range. I think it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 15 reps. How effective he is on those reps, though, could be a huge deciding factor in this game. If we get the James Houston that shows up that started to get light the world on fire last season against Buffalo on Thanksgiving, where he kind of started to come out, he was right there neck and neck with Hutch the rest of the season for sacks. People did not know how to guard him. The problem is, he doesn't have a huge pass rush arsenal. He's elite speed. He has, for a linebacker, he has elite speed. Like, I'm going to make a comparison. I hope you guys don't nail me because I'm only going to compare the speed aspect, not the overall player. But when I watched the Pittsburgh Steelers, TJ Watt, his speed, I see a lot in James Houston. Now, the rest is not comparable. TJ Watt is on a whole nother level. But that initial get off, that initial first step, I see some similarities. I think he's the same when it comes to that. James Houston is hard to block. If he gets a step on you, that's his bread and butter. He doesn't have a bull rush. He does have a nice little like a crow hop. I'd like to see him develop more of a spin move, kind of like Hutch has been doing. But right now he's still very raw, coming off an injury. Still technically like a rookie season for him. He hasn't played 16, 17 games yet, so he's still. It's year 2, I get it, but technically a rookie. Also, he's coming out of Florida. I know he got drafted out of drawing a blank, Jackson State, but he was recruited by Florida. So you don't go to the SEC. Florida's a powerhouse school. You don't go to the SEC without being able to play football, without having some athleticism. So there's some tools there, and how much he's been doing this season while he's been hurt, I don't know. We're gonna find out. But guys, like I said, I just don't see more than 15 reps. But if we can put Purdy under pressure, and I like that saying, Purdy under pressure. Let's get that trending. Hashtag Purdy under pressure. That's going to be the difference in this game. Brock Purdy is a very inexperienced quarterback. I know he had all last year. A lot of people say he's a system guy that you could just throw anyone in there for San Francisco and they're going to be successful. I don't think that's true. I think Brock Purdy has some tools. But I just think he's kind of hidden. He's kind of underneath a shell when it comes to that San Francisco 49ers team as an entirety. Like they're loaded from top to bottom. What's their weakest spot? It's probably quarterback. And that's not a knock on Brock Purdy, a knock on Brock. I'm just full of them tonight. But it's just the way it is. Like, it's kind of like Trent Dilfer on the Ravens. Like, he was kind of the weak link, but the rest of the team was loaded, go out and score 13 points. Baltimore's going to win 14-13. Like it's kind of the same when I see how Brock Purdy is on that team. He's not a difference maker. He can shred us if he has time. We cannot give him all day to throw. We need Hutch to keep doing what he's doing. Hutch is looking like one of the absolute elite pass rushers, 8 sacks in the last 4 games. He's looking like one of those top dogs. Like he wants to be in that same category as the Myles Garrett, the Nick Bosa's, the TJ Watts. He wants to be up there with those guys. In the last 4 games, he has been. He's been an absolute game wrecker. If we can get someone on that other side, John Kaminsky, Josh Paschal, James Houston, it's going to be a huge, huge advantage for us. I know we have some secondary issues. I know we've gotten some quarterbacks who have thrown for huge yardage on us, receivers who have had, the best season of best game of the season, career games with CD Lamb. Like, guys, the way I don't want to say our secondary is bad. Like, we have we have a lot of good players. Like, we got a CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kirby Joseph. Cam Sutton, I guess I'll say. We have some secondary players. In the NFL, you cannot guard all day. 3 seconds, someone's going to be open. So that first 3 seconds when a ball is snapped is just critical on a play. And if you can have a guy like James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, Ali McNeil in the quarterback's face, pushing the pocket back, making him uncomfortable, it's going to be the difference in the game. I really, truly believe that this game is going to come down to Brock Purdy. It's going to come down to how we game plan for him, how we scheme him, how we, if we can force some turnovers, an interception, a fumble, if we could just make him as uncomfortable as possible. And I'm not like, reinventing the wheel here with this take. It's just kind of like the game of football. But for this game in particular, we have an advantage at quarterback. Let's take advantage of it. Put Brock Purdy on his ass as much as possible. So, guys, James Houston coming back, 15 snaps. I hope more, but I'm just kind of thinking like, based off what Aaron Glenn said in his interview, I think it was yesterday, just kind of like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but, he's pretty much like, he's going to take care of the players. If they're not 100%, they're not just going to throw them out there. But James Houston's an NFL player. I'm sure he's kept himself in phenomenal shape. It's just going to come down to getting a little bit of that rust off. So I'm excited. I think 15 snaps, if he can be very effective on 5 of them, some pressures, maybe a sack, that's going to be huge. I hope I'm wrong on how much he plays. I hope he plays more, but I'm just kind of reeling in my expectations. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think his role is going to be on Sunday, how much he'll play, how big of a factor he'll be. Leave it in the comments. Hit that like button. Guys, if you're new to this channel, if you love Detroit Lions, you love Detroit Lions content, throw us on while you're at work. Throw this channel on while you're driving into work. Put some headphones in while your boss is yapping. Be a little secretive. Go in the bathroom, listen to some Detroit Den 313. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Get ready to do this game day episode tomorrow night. Can't wait. I got some good points, some good talking points. I'm getting after it, guys. Help me out. Hit that subscribe button. I will be back later with some more content.